to Australia. I'm delighted to say Josh Little is with us. As I said, fresh or not so fresh today after having beaten England in the cricket yesterday. Josh, how are you getting on?
Yeah, good morning, guys. Yeah, I'm good. Had a nice day today, just to sort of soak it all in and be around the guys and sort of enjoy the moment, I guess.
So obviously for us, we're watching here this time 24 hours ago, praying for the rain to come. A very unusual Irish situation, or at least for it not to stop. What time of the day is it for you guys at that point? Like, what happens immediately afterwards?
After the rain?
After the match yesterday, like what like
after the match?
Yeah, do you all sit back and watch it again, or is it like, well, we need to celebrate the moment?
Well, we head into the change rooms and we sing the national anthem together in a huddle and grab a bite to eat and maybe a beer for a couple of people and just soak in the moment while watching the highlights on the TV. There's usually a TV in the changing room when you're in there, so yeah, just trying to soak up the moment as much as possible and just enjoy it.
Does it sink in straight away that, okay, this is like a very, very good England T20 team, and it wasn't a fluke? Like, I'm kind of joking about praying for the rain, but like, you put yourselves in a winning position. England knew exactly what they had to do and they couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where I guess absolutely delighted with the win, and you know, you're sort of not expecting that, but at the same time, me personally anyway, I sort of have the mentality of, well, I'm not surprised, because we're a good side and you know, we can beat anyone on our day. So it's sort of exciting to see what the future holds in terms of the next couple of games in the coming week. So yeah, I'm just absolutely buzzing to get stuck into those games, because anything really is possible from here.
When did that confidence hit you about this team being good enough to compete at this level and to pull off that victory? Because you know, the form has been in and out over the last 18 months. There's been some really, really great performances and there's been some letdowns, you'd have to say. And so to get to this stage in this competition, in this format, what was giving you that confidence?
I think just having played a decent amount of that format of cricket, I just sort of understand that things don't always go your way and that there are good days and bad days. It's just about keep working hard and you'll have more good days than bad days. And thankfully, we're starting to see reap the rewards for all our hard work, and it's just great to see. And as I said, you don't know what the future holds for us, because things are going great at the moment.
What did it mean, Josh, for you to do it in the MCG as well? I mean, such a historic venue. I was listening to your captain speaking the other day after the match, and he was talking about the fact that you all did a museum tour as well, and I know it's the setting of Ronnie Delaney's gold medal for Ireland back in the Melbourne Olympics years and years ago. So it must have made it all the more special.
Yeah, we were actually watching the India-Pakistan game a couple of days ago, where there was 100,000 people and never seen the place so full. And obviously that was our first time there, so we were all absolutely buzzing to get out to such a famous ground and put on a show against what was obviously an incredibly strong English side. So we were all absolutely buzzing to get out there, and so thankful it went our way, and it was a great day.
You're only what, 22 at the minute, Josh, is it?
22, 23 next week.
And yet you're a veteran of the team. Like, you made your debut at 16 back in 2016, so you're one of the older guys on the team now.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess I'm a young guy but also an old guy, and I've sort of taken the role of trying to take the guys who may not necessarily be the same age as me but might be a little bit newer into the team, sort of take them under my wing a little bit and sort of try to give some of the knowledge that I've got over the years, playing in pressure situations and trying to help the guys grow the way I have, I guess, playing against these quality opposition.
What's going through your head with those 2 quick wickets yesterday? I mean, are you allowed to enjoy the moment? Are you able to enjoy the moment? Or are you just thinking, right, let's get the next one going here?
Yeah, I'm always trying to enjoy every second I'm out there. That's the reason I play. I try to bring a relaxed environment to the team. I'm quite a relaxed guy and chill guy, and you know, some of the guys are a little bit more nervous or you know, whatever you want to call it. So I try and just calm everyone down, slow it down, and just sort of just be in the moment a little bit and to see what's in front of you.
When you play at that level as a 16-year-old, you're obviously already thinking, I want this to be my professional career, pardon me. And so that's obviously something that's in your head at that point. When do you realise that you're going to be able to make this your living, and that it's not just going to be something that you were really good at school and really good at underage, but that actually you are going to be able to represent your country and make a living doing this?
Yeah, interesting question. And the guys actually always ask me this one, and I don't really have the answer, but I guess making my ODI debut against England and getting 4 wickets there at Malahide at our home ground against England as well, funnily enough. Sorry about that. I don't want to say it hit me that, I could potentially make a living, but that's when it sort of dawned on me that this is an exciting sport, and anything could happen if you put in the hard work, and luckily things are going my way at the moment. I'm not saying they always will, but fingers crossed, we keep going the way we are, that things will be good.
I think traditionally players who showed promise like you within the Irish system would have been looking towards signing for an English county team, and then who knows what the international future would have held. So things have obviously changed in that pathway, that you feel comfortable that you don't have to do that. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I don't want to go off topic from the Irish stuff, but there's franchise opportunities from around the world. So it's not necessarily the be all end all getting over to England. What we're doing at the moment is equally as special, and if other things come from that, whether it be going to other competitions around the world, well, that's just an added bonus, and one we're all hoping to achieve.
I was interested, Josh, to look at comments from Andrew Balbirnie as well, talking after the game, where he said he was looking at the matchups before the match, and he said he was struggling to understand how Ireland could compete with England on their day if every player performed. And they're probably one of, if not the best teams in the world at this format as well. Yeah. So how did you manage to do it? I mean, was it a case of just being confident that in those matchups you could, on your day, be up there with them?
Yeah, as I alluded to, just being relaxed and believing that we are as good as them, because I've no doubt in my mind that we are as good as them. And, the English boys, I don't want to say it, come with a little bit of arrogance. So I felt personally we catch them on the hop a little bit. And we did at the beginning of our batting innings, and we did at the beginning of our bowling innings. So, yeah.
It makes it all the sweeter than beating the English lads, I'd imagine, if there's 100%. That little bit of arrogance.
100%, yeah. We were just saying, were they being a little bit, were they taking us for granted a little bit? Not that matters. We still went out and gave our all, and delighted.
Josh, you're like the right age exactly to remember the kind of first breakthrough of an Irish cricket team onto the national sporting consciousness. And there's been a couple of instances in the past, generally off the back of maybe Kevin O'Brien springs to mind in the 50s, and obviously before that we were the Sri Lanka, that whole story, that was all amazing. So do you feel now, having come through the system and watched those as a kid, that we're kind of ready as a country and as a sport to capitalise on this?
Yeah, 100%. I think the guys are all beaming with confidence, and I always look back with my friend Harry, who's on the team as well. I remember sitting in my house at 4 a.m. watching cricket games of the lads out in Australia and wherever, winning games in the World Cup, and just wishing I hope to be there one day. And now that we are, we're really soaking it in and trying to enjoy every minute. Also with the confidence that we are as good as anyone else in the world, and that's a great feeling.
Your siblings are also pretty good at cricket, so it's obviously the main sport in the house.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Neither of my parents or grandparents or anything really played cricket when we were growing up. We were more of a hockey family. And yeah, I was playing hockey one day, and one of my friends in school, his dad just came up to me and just sort of said, "Do you want to come down and give cricket a go? And you've got hand-eye coordination." And I just sort of fell in love with it from there. And my sisters followed suit.
And did you fall in love with batting or bowling first?
I'm going to say bowling. I've always had an interest in batting, but just with the schedule and stuff, I unfortunately can't work on my batting the way I'm able to work on my bowling. But I'll say I like both equally as much.
It turns out, though, that you're obviously very good at the bowling.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I work on the most, and that's what I have a passion about bowling, and I want to be the best in the world one day, and that drives me every day to get better and better. And I really enjoyed it.
Like that it's great to hear that, because that's going to be inspiring to the next generation of young cricketers. Not that you're not a young cricketer, like you could still be doing this in 12, 14 years time at international level, it turns out, especially the way sports science works, and it sounds like you're looking after yourself as well. So like that level of ambition, and the fact that you play for Ireland as opposed to playing for England, saying that is really inspirational for the next generation.
Yeah, 100%. Like, as I've alluded to a couple of times, like we're as good as anyone else, and it's just about getting that belief, getting that experience into the younger guys, so they can also believe that we are at this level. Because I remember a time where I didn't believe we were anywhere near the standard, and playing a big team is a massive occasion and whatever, we'll lose, but I hope we have a good game. But now it's sort of like we're at this level, we can compete with these boys, and it's not so much about being nervous about it anymore. It's about going out and showcasing your skills and really giving them a good run for their money.
Did you get chatting to Owen Morgan at all after the match, Josh? I know we were watching him on TV yesterday. He had a bit of a smirk on his face. We were trying to gauge how he felt after the match. Did you get talking to him at all?
No, I didn't.
The scenes of all the Irish fans as well over there, and a lot of them would have kind of extended the holiday, I guess, from Durban to get to Melbourne as well, and spent a lot of money in the process. So it must mean so much to see a family as well, but also just fans over there.
Yeah, it's amazing. My parents are actually out here, and they sort of booked the trip hoping that we would get through, but always sort of said to me, when you guys go home, we'll just carry on and do a little holiday. So to actually make that a reality, that no, they're not on a holiday, they're actually coming to watch us still play in these big games, is a special memory and one I'll never forget.
That's class. That's the type of thing parents would say to take the pressure off you when secretly they know we're going to that England game. We've got that circle, don't worry, it's in the MCG.
Yeah, exactly.
That's class. That is a really nice story. This is like obviously a more philosophical question, but like, is this the format that suits Ireland the best? Is this what we should focus on into the future, or can we use this to help make sure that we're really good at the 50 and eventually the test side becomes even better? Like, do we have the resources to compete on all fronts, or what's your instinct about that at the moment?
I think just the nature with our schedule, we don't have that much Test cricket on the schedule, so it's naturally going to be very hard to compete with the teams who play 10 times the amount of Test cricket that we do. But both 50 over and T20 cricket, we're right up there, and we have been for a while with the 50 over stuff. We've had a good couple of years there, and doing well in the T20s is actually relatively new for us. We were quite a weak side a couple of years ago, so in my opinion, the white ball stuff should be our focus, and obviously trying to, over the next sort of 10 years, build into Test cricket.
Well, that all makes sense. Well, you've got a newfound audience of young kids who are out in the back garden bowling and batting, and hopefully it leads to loads more success. Everybody here is like celebrating because we beat England, but you guys obviously, first thing you talked about was like really looking forward to the rest of the competition, because there are some more big scalps to take. You got the host nation at another famous ground to look forward to. That's going to be quite the occasion.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we never really expected after the first stage of the competition to end up here, so it's just sort of just got to roll with it and enjoy the moment, and hopefully take another couple of scalps with us, because I'm sure all those teams will have seen that game and sort of been a little bit scared. Maybe we'll see. So anything could happen, and I'm really looking forward to playing those big teams.
You've got that experience as well, I guess, Josh, of the summer series. You've played the likes of India, New Zealand, South Africa, and Afghanistan, who are the opponents tomorrow as well. Like, will having played Afghanistan and beaten them quite recently give yourselves a bit of confidence? Like, are you expecting to win heading into that next game tomorrow?
Yeah, 100%. I think we should be winning that game, for sure, because just the nature of the wickets, they're naturally quite a spin dominant team, and the ball doesn't spin too much here. And the way we bowled yesterday and batted up top, I think could really knock them off their seat. And yeah, I expect us to win.
I saw Andrew Balbirnie talking about the hope that this could spark a golden generation again of young Irish cricketers, and like the age profile of the team is something we spoke about on the show yesterday, Josh. Like, it's like there obviously are the older lads on the team as any team would have, but it is, when you look at the average age, fairly positive in terms of the amount of youth on the side.
Yeah, 100%. As I was saying earlier, it's about getting those guys into the pressure situation. Like, for example, Fionn Hand yesterday, just his third game for Ireland against England. It's about throwing people in there and seeing what they can do, and that's what happened with me. I made my ODI debut against England. I was sort of thrown into the deep end to see what I could do, and as I said, it sort of just sparked my career. So there's no reason why any young guys in our team can't be thrown into the deep end and given it a good go. So yeah, it's just about exposure, and you gain confidence from playing loads of games. So you need to give the guys the chance.
you felt like regardless of the weather yesterday, and like when the weather closed in, we were kind of sitting here going, are England coming back, or Ireland still at the forefront? Like, were you confident that regardless of whether the rain had arrived, you were going to go on and win that match anyway?
I guess we'll never know.
Can I ask then, were you bowling to Ali, or had you finished at that stage?
Yeah, I bowled to Ali. Yeah.
What was that like? Because he was pretty good.
Yeah, I actually played with him on a team last year, so I'd know him decently well. He's a very funny character, and he was sort of sledging me on the pitch, saying, you know, he's going to hit me for 6 or whatever. So I was having a little bit of banter back with him. But no, he's obviously a class player, and yeah, unfortunately I couldn't get him out. But it was good to bowl to him. Yeah,
well, because he was in good form, but like in fairness, you know, the rest of the England order up to that point hadn't put them in a position to win. But what's that tension like when you know that the winning and losing of the match is in the next few balls, really?
Yeah, it's quite nerve-wracking because, as you said, like anything could have happened there from when we came off. Really, at one stage, you know, they needed nearly 11 and over, and I was thinking, God, we have this in the bag, easy. And then obviously they had a decent over where they hit a 6 and a 4, and it came back down to 9 and over, and I was thinking, God, these two could take it away from us here, which would have been absolutely devastating. And then we just sort of looked up and saw those black clouds rolling in, and it was meant to be.
Josh, are you like looking at Ali in the eye? Are you looking at the batsman in the eye, or is it like a kind of, I'm not going to let him see anything? I'm not going to. There's no the sledging. Is it kind of? Are you walking away muttering to him, or is it like, I'm coming for you? How aggressive does it get, and how subtle does it need to be?
I think it varies person to person. Between me and him, it was before the game. He just came up to me and told me he was going to smack me, but it was just a bit of banter. But yeah, no, I have had times where it's gotten heated, and yeah, I sort of try to stay away from that a little bit. I try to just focus on what I'm trying to do, and don't really get involved too much, but still trying to be aggressive as I can.
Yeah, well, it obviously worked out, and as you said, it was meant to be. Josh, congratulations. Thanks a million for joining us this morning. Cheers.
Thanks very much. Cheers.